Hello, everybody. The lovely, the hilarious Tana Mongeau, who
Hi, guys. Thanks, guys.
I'm very happy that we are able to do this one-on-one like this,
too.
or two-on-one.
I never thought, like, a year ago that I would be just, like, driving to the H3 warehouse podcast alone. Like, a year ago, I would have been, like, trembling, shaking, crying, throwing up.
No, we're besties now. You're friend of the show status.
I love this progress, this story arc.
I agree. And we've got, of course, my beautiful co-host, Hila Klein, who's extra flat, who's looking extra.
She looks so fucking
extra today.
Thank you.
But I'm really just scheming here. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get close to you. You're the cool girl. Our friend group has been like so obsessed with you. It's
what? Really?
We love a stylistic, fucking cool, nice girl.
Thanks.
Bro, you could call me fat. I'm not insecure about it at all.
I don't think that, and I wouldn't.
Well, I am fat, and frankly, now I know you're lying to me.
Oh
I don't
my
think
God.
I don't think you're fat.
Thank you.
And I also think dad bod is superior.
This ain't no dad. I know what girls mean when they say dad bod.
No,
They're like
no.
you're jacked, but like you don't have a six pack.
Do you know how many men? No, let me not start that sentence like that. I've definitely been in a position where it's like, no, like he can't see his toes, and I'm into it, you know?
Really?
For sure.
Okay, hold on. Let me get you guys and all the ladies who want to chime in.
Okay.
Let me get your honest take in terms of like what's a dad bod. And you like that?
He looks amazing.
Okay. Shit.
Like, oh my God. I'm here for it. Seth Rogen, call me. I'm just a personality girl.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just not like most girls.
Why is it that all of your boyfriends I've seen are like super fucking like hot looking?
What?
I don't know, like the guys.
They're all hot to me, I just want to say.
But like, no, they look like models and shit. Or at least that one guy.
Chapters.
I guess maybe. Who's the ugliest guy you dated? Give me his name. Let's look it up. Declined to state. How about this?
I can't say
Who's the most dad-bodded guy you dated?
That's meaner.
Okay,
Following that
mean.
a question.
I mean,
Oh, you dated Little Zan?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You were like,
But
they're
he's
all
not
generally
funny.
hot. I feel like, well, he was funny in the regard that like, no, I'm not laughing with him, but I things were funny. You know what I mean? But that was a long time ago. I'm reformed.
He's funny in like the way that like you remember something about Mary?
I'm sorry.
Oh shit. He's you know where I was going with that. You know, he's funny in the way that I think we had a little beef with
When
him
I was
before.
dating him, there was a period of time where I was like living with him and we were dating. We were in a full-blown relationship, and he would be like, my cousin's coming over and she's like cleaning the house. She works for me. My cousin's my assistant. Months went by. And then I found out that she was just like his other girlfriend. She was also dating him at the same time as
This
me.
dude
and
was
she was like
playing you?
pretending to be his cousin.
Oh my God.
When you look at that, it's like, oh my God,
This
Tana,
is what he
get a
looks
grip.
like in every picture.
No, like look there. Look at him with
one?
Noah, who I also dated. How fun. But shit makes you a freak, you know?
Xanax?
You're sucking
That shit
toes
just-
and shit because you
What?
don't care. You don't care. It's turning off the receptors.
I
It's
just
like,
made me
is this
sleep.
weird?
I just wanted to sleep when I
Yeah, but if you fight that, you're eating ass.
Okay. You also dated because you have such an illustrious dating history. I mean, you and Bella Thorne were dating for a while.
A long time.
You guys had a falling out, right?
We did. We had a really, really messy, awful breakup for sure, and we didn't talk for like 2 years. We're really cool now. Yeah. Everything about that was just so blurred lines. You know what I mean? So it's like when shit like that happens, it's messy, but
And
we're healed now.
Jake Paul, of course.
Yeah, that happened.
But were you guys really together? Because you had this whole marriage
Your guess
thing.
is as good as mine.
You don't even know.
I mean,
Yeah,
not like that, but I just mean like, yeah, your guess is as good. I mean, I was in it. I really cared about him, and you know, but I can't speak for him.
Are you guys still close, or do you?
We're not close. We weren't cool for a really long time, and now I think we're cool. Got a little chit chat here and there. That must be how like Selena Gomez feels about like Justin Bieber. Like not me. I'm like Selena Gomez must feel just like me. That's not what I mean. But I just mean like when you have such a public relationship, peak fame thing with someone.
Yeah.
Like you're always going to be asked about it. Like I'm going to be married with.
You don't want to
Taylor
talk about him anymore.
It's not. There's no bad blood. It's just like we're not close. He lives in Puerto Rico. He's boxing, and I'm doing my own thing. And you know what I mean. It's just. Yeah. I just feel like the girl in that era is a very different girl. I've grown so much.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who was eating the burrito that cheated on you? What does that mean?
Oh my God, that's so funny. I dated this guy, Brad.
Bro, he looks just like Justin Bieber.
I'm like, I dated this guy, Brad. That's the only reason why. He was just so hot.
So he's beautiful.
He's beautiful. He's so beautiful. It looks a little worse now. No, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Fuck.
Hold on, give me his Instagram. What is he up to now? Is he not doing
He's making music, actually. He's making music. Normally,
Really?
I get the musician and then I like ruin their life so hard they're like either quitting their job in life or they're making awful music about me. But this was the reverse effect where we broke up and he became a musician and he wrote a lot of songs about our,
His last post got 900 likes. How does that make you feel? 14 weeks ago.
I'm so mature and reformed now. I feel indifferent to that. I don't.
Oh, stop. You feel something.
I really don't.
Okay.
Because it's like, I would hate if someone said that about me, if I was like getting no likes.
He said sold out show. Last Friday took me a few days to take, but like if you sold out, there's definitely less than this many people.
And obviously as well, let's say it was, 3-4 years ago when I was really bitter, like, fuck you, I gave you everything and you cheated on me. Like, you're a rat. Like, I made you. When I was angry like that, that would have, but now you've moved on. I feel nothing. Yeah.
That's good. That means you moved on. Bella Thorne wrote a song about you called Stupid Fucking Bitch.
Oh my God.
Fucking give that girl a Grammy.
Oh my God.
Give that girl a Grammy.
She did not mince words at all.
She hired a girl in the music video who looked like me. I filmed a reaction video to it, which I think equated maybe in views to her song. I don't even know, which made me feel better.
I don't know about all this.
Yeah. It's a banger. Oh my God. That was the point.
Was that a hateful thing she did, or was she being cheeky? Like, what was it?
It was kind of cheeky. Like, some of the words were like, you're stupid, but I don't remember. You know what I mean? Like, you're a stupid fucking bitch. Like, I hate that I loved you. It was like kind of
What did you
air of it.
let it happen?
What?
Why did she hate you so much?
It's a long story, but it's basically like I started dating her, and then couple months into us kind of dating or whatever it was, she brought in this guy, Modson, this singer. She started just dating him. He was around all the time. We were both just dating her, and for a while, we really didn't get along. It was like, who's getting her the better fucking Valentine's Day gift? And oh my God, we have to do a matching costume, and fuck this, and whatever. But it was what she wanted, and we both wanted to.
It's almost like a Mormon. It reminds me of like the Mormon reality shows I've seen where they like live out in the middle.
Yeah, but just a fucked up weird LA stoner version of like no one showers. Whatever. Her and Modson break up. And then Modson and I just bond. We click. We're like, fuck this past 2 years of our life. We started hanging out a lot. I was in my music making era, so he was also helping me with all of this music shit, so I was spending a lot of time with him. Eventually, him and I start dating. And which is such a, you'd think we would have just done it then. You know what I mean? Like in our throuple situation, but we didn't. And then she was very much so angry. Girl code, how could you?
Girl code, that's funny because you.
And that was my standpoint. Yeah. I'm like, girl code, bitch, you just made me fucking look like I was dating him for the last fucking 2 years. And you were fine with it when it was
interesting
in your world with your control, but now you hate it because we broke up with you and we don't like you. And that's what it felt like. And we just went back and forth and back and forth. And it was all online and it was so messy. And yeah, but then, I mean, eventually we both grew a lot and just kind of let bygones be bygones. We both said and did a lot of mean shit. And, we were young and it was stupid.
Speaking of situations you can't talk about, like, that's the one in our life that really sucks because, like, Ethan is such an open person and I am too. Like, when it comes to our online stuff, I mean, we pretty much share literally everything.
Life.
Yeah.
Like,
does that bother you? Is it legal that you can't say things or it's for the greater good?
What are we talking about that I can't talk about?
Just frenemies stuff.
Oh, that's just like a personal thing.
It's not legal. It's just family.
And that doesn't bother me. I've talked about that shit so much now. There's nothing left to say about it.
Do you guys? You're like, there's nothing left to say about it. I'm like, well, here's my scroll.
No, you can ask me whatever you want, and if I don't want to talk about it, then I won't. Like,
do you guys still speak with Moses?
No. and it's really hard.
Moses to me.
Moses is
my brother.
Your brother.
Isn't that crazy as fuck?
It's really hard. It's really hard.
Were you very close your whole life?
Yes.
Dude, we used to hang out with him every week.
He was the closest one.
Every week, dude.
It really does suck.
And then
it's really hard on my whole family that we don't talk because I have 2 other siblings and they talk with him.
Yeah.
And my mom obviously talks
It's very
to him.
hard to be the one.
So like we can't have like a holiday together. We can't have like
so you wouldn't be in the same room. Yeah.
And so
I would sooner I'm just gonna say it. I would sooner make up with, oh, don't say it. I'm out.
No, I don't want you to say that. I know what you're gonna
I'm
say.
out. Hey, this is me right now. Verbal bad boy. Also smoked crack once.
Like someone just fucking made that at a fucking desk right here. You're telling me that?
Yeah, Cam.
Cam is our guy.
I'm about to relaunch my podcast, and I swear to God, I could be doing it for 10 fucking years. I don't know if it's the people I attract. I don't know what it is. Sorry to all the people I just hired. I don't think you're capable of it.
Well, Cam.
I'm actually kidding.
Cam's job is to sit there and make memes during the show. He's really good at it.
That's incredible.
How'd you guys meet?
He is best friends with my best friend, like childhood best friends with my best friend.
Natural means.
Yeah, very
how people meet people.
Yeah, and there was just one day where I was like, oh, I really like you, like type of vibe. And we both were just like, we're not going to be friends. Like this isn't, we're not giving friendship here.
Well, good for you. I'm happy for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. He lives in Vegas, where I'm from.
Oh, wow.
You guys are, he's from Vegas?
Well, I'm from Vegas.
I know, but he lives in Vegas?
Yeah, but not like
That's
lives
gotta
in
be
Vegas,
a pain in
like
the butt.
Trenches. He's very successful, which is good. But you can take the girl out of Vegas, but you can't take the Vegas out of the girl. So I bond with a Vegas guy. Like our core values are fucked up, but the same. But the long distance is hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. Does he want to move to LA?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And like, how much do I really want?
Why would he want to stay in Vegas? No offense. I know you grew up there.
Yeah.
My parents lived there. My grandparents lived there. Really? I've been there a lot. The fact that this man wants to stay in Vegas is a red flag.
But the thing is I was like that for a while. I moved out of Vegas when I was like 15, so like 9 years ago. And for a while I was like, fuck that city, for whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I kind of came around to it again. Like I love it again. And I see why people who are really like he's in like real estate vibes, you know what I mean? So he's like very successful in Vegas. Like if you're living lavish as fucking Vegas, the cost of living is great there. You get the vibe of a big city, but it's not too much. Like weather's pretty nice except for when it's really cold or really hot. Like Vegas people are just very fucking real, tell you how it is, like vibes. There are some perks to living in Vegas.
It's such a weird place, man. Yeah. Because it's like you're on Mars. It's like in the middle of fucking nowhere.
And that's why I'm like innately like a bitch from Mars. You know, I'm
okay. But it's like, it's like the most transient city. It's like.
It's insane, for sure.
Yeah.
Raising kids there is crazy to me. Like I remember growing up being like 14. Like, why the fuck would my parents choose to raise me here? You know, especially because we were poor. I was like, of all cities, like, raising a kid poor in Vegas is very scary. You know what I mean? Because like it's a city of just drugs and alcohol and sex and
it's crazy.
Dirty money. Like, you know, and it's so easy to get like caught up in that, you know?
So what was your growing up there like? I mean, were you a hooligan growing up there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To the fullest extent. That's like why I started YouTube, doing story times about the shit I was getting into in Vegas.
Right.
Absolutely. You're just like 21 by the time you're like 13, 14. You're partying in the hotels and the casinos and you know what I mean? Everyone's selling drugs, doing drugs.
So what did your parents do for a living? When did you guys move there?
They lived there for like 20 years before me.
Okay.
And they were like older, like a lot older.
Your parents are older?
Yeah.
Are you an only child?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
But they're not like my best friend's family like basically adopted me when I was like 13, like, and took me in. Like now every holiday I go see them. They're my family 100%. But like my family I was born into, they were just very crazy. I mean, all their money was very elite. It's so hard. I can't say a lot of things for legal reasons. There's like a whole.
With your parents?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Which is nuts.
Well, so how long did you live with your parents?
I mean, I guess technically until I was like 15, but like by 14, I was like staying with my friends for like months at a time and shit. Like I was out. It was just a very volatile environment. And
so growing up with your parents, they were like, do they have like some kind of, like, what was it? How much older are they?
My parents were like in their 50s raising me.
Okay.
And they just, in my opinion, weren't very good people. Like we just, you know what I mean? They weren't, I was very independent. Like I did everything on my own for as long as I can remember. Just even my meals and my money and getting to school and doing it. That's one of the main reasons I dropped out of school. Like it was just like, nothing was a functioning routine, and I never learned that. I was very much so independent. And anytime I really needed to fall on a parental figure for anything, it was always my best friend's family.
That's got to be painful, though, that like your relationship with your parents was so fraught.
100%. 100%.
That's hard. That's really...
And obviously being an only child through that as well, and not really having someone to like, and that's why I credit my best friend to like saving my life, or like being my brother. He still lives with me to this day. Like he's literally my brother, and it's amazing. I credit him to really helping me with that. And I've tried to work out, there's so much trauma and so many things that I can't wait to talk about one day. Jeanette McCurdy wrote that book that was like, I'm glad my mom died.
Yeah. Is it like that?
100%.
Holy fuck, dude.
Like, I can't wait until, but...
You want your parents to die?
I don't want them to die. I don't want anyone to die.
Would you be sad if they died?
It's weird. I just had this recently, like, I guess I found out through the grapevine that my mom was like super sick, I guess, right? My birth mom. And
you don't talk to them at all. You don't know anything
about
And
even
them.
then, it was like, it was up in the air of like, what if she dies, right? And I have this whole existential moment of like, I remember crying, and I was like, why am I crying? Like, I don't feel like this person ever loved me. But it's sad knowing that it's closed. I guess you'll always have that irrational hope that they could one day be people and like apologize.
It's not even irrational. We need the love of our
Well, I just mean situationally irrational. I know they never will.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? You know what I mean? And I went to therapy about it a lot. My therapist was like, and it's hard too when you talk to people about it, because it's very much like, what if my mom dies? And everyone's like, call her, talk to her. That's your mom. And I've always been such a firm believer in like, because people have said that to me my whole life. And, I'm like, I don't talk to my parents. They're not my cup of tea. And people are like, but it's your mom, it's your dad. But to me, it's, if someone never shows you the love.
When you say it wasn't my cup of tea, I don't think people understand.
I know,
because it sounds like there was,
speaking in my legal terms.
It sounds like there was abuse.
Absolutely.
It sounds like it was a really traumatic.
Absolutely.
But
and
so
I've said that before, and then I've been in court having to almost pay millions of dollars for slander.
Really?
You can slander your parents?
Apparently,
like, what damage are you going to do to them?
Yeah,
So, are you going through litigation right now with your parents?
This was
it's over.
This was like 2-3 years ago, probably.
And did you guys settle?
Yeah, because it's basically. I guess I can talk about this. I don't know. I mean,
well, did you sign an NDA? I
signed a non-disparagement.
So don't disparage them. That means you can be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll disparage them.
I received a letter, that basically said, you said these things on this reality show. When I was on MTV and I had a show, we went and kind of toured my childhood homes, and I said a lot of things that someone in court could say, create a loss of income, which is so untrue. It was definitely just a cash grab. Everyone was very, in my opinion, but everyone was very aware of it being like that. And it went back and forth for a while. And then it got to the point where it would have been, and this was peak COVID, so it was all over Zoom, and just awful for my mental state as well. Like having to just like relive so much stuff all the time that to me, I felt like I had been beginning to put to rest. And it got to a point where it would have been years in court, and it would have been a public trial, and it would have been like medical subpoenas.
Seriously?
Medical subpoenas all the time, and just like so much shit.
You couldn't get rid of it on like before a trial?
I tried as hard as I possibly could.
What the fuck?
And I don't want to see them. I don't want to talk to them ever again. I don't want to feel that way ever again. I don't want to watch them defend that all the shit that they did to me was that they were good parents. Just watching, in my opinion, lie. And yeah, we settled, and I had to pay them like a couple $100,000.
Wow.
That must
felt like shit. Oh my God. That was like the day in my head where they really like, they were dead to me. You know what I mean? Because if you can do that to your kid.
I'm mind blown.
Yeah, you suck. But words can't express how grateful I am for my best friend's family. Like they are literally my mother and my father, and he has siblings, and they're my brother and my sister, and I'm lucky as fuck. Cause you know what I mean? I guess so many people don't go through Tana Mongeau's life where you have a reality show and your parents sue you. And
that was I would say that is a very, 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 very rare upbringing. 100%. What you're describing. Like that's wild. Do you find it odd that like there's two people, they apparently love each other, or they're still together, right? They're not divorced.
I mean, it was the most toxic thing.
They were not like a happy married couple.
At all.
So it was just all bad. Loveless house.
But 100%. But I think that trauma bonds are very real. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what they're doing, where they're at, anything like that. Probably spending my money, probably at the casino.
What was it that you said that they sued that they took issue with? Without saying it's true, just saying this is what
because the way that type of lawsuit works, especially because you can do it two ways. You can pay a lawyer a lump sum, or pay a lawyer hourly, or pay a lawyer, retain them to go do it, or you can pay a lawyer a percentage of if you win.
Yeah.
And that's what they had. You know what I mean? That type of lawyer. And that's scarier too, because then the lawyer is like hungry to, because if they don't win, they don't win any money. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's just 1,000 anecdotal sentences. Like, oh, there were roaches in my house growing up.
Just a bunch of shit.
Or, oh, I remember, like, you know what I mean? Hypothetically, I could have said something like, oh, I didn't eat for a week growing up. Like there was no food, or there was roaches in the house, or
so they just itemized all this.
Itemized everything, and then I just had to sit in court and sit there and go through every single sentence and defend it as hard as I can. Like I was talking about how when I got to LA, one of the first things I spent money on was an immense amount of dental work, and then it was because I never really
had dental care.
You can't say it. You can't say it. Yeah, but you can say you got a bunch of dental work, and we can infer what that means.
Yeah, everything. It was crazy for sure.
Damn.
But I definitely.
And you had to sit through that, and they would sit there too on Zoom.
A lot of it, luckily, thankfully, was mediation based, where I would say something to a mediator, and the mediator would go say it to them, and then they would say something to the mediator, and the mediator would come back and say it, which honestly I think really saved my mental health a lot, because I think that if I had to, you know what I mean, it would have been a lot harder. It was crazy. I just hired my what would be my executive assistant for the next like 3 years, and her first like real thing with me. Like now it's like, come help me with Dizzy. But with her, it was like, let's go to court every day. And I need you to take notes. And it was nuts. That's how I knew she was a great person and rode for me, because it was very intense. But yeah.
Shout out. She's here.
Shout out Kyla. No, that's big. But
that's pretty incredible that you survived that. That sounds really, really fucking
it's hard.
crazy.
I'll definitely have to unpack a lot of trauma in my life, but you know what I mean? I got a lot of therapy about it, and the therapist helped me work through the fact that, like, why do I want to give peace to people who never gave me peace, and type of thing.
You want to give peace to them?
No, like if they were dying, like I would only be saying like goodbye for them.
Would you do that if they were like on their deathbed? Would you say anything? No. What if they what if you're, whatever, what if they called you and they're like, hey, I'm dying, I just want to
I wouldn't answer.
Really?
I mean, well, I don't answer unknown callers, and I wouldn't answer if it was their number, I guess. And I mean, I guess if somehow an interaction happened where we were on the phone, they said that, I would probably just respond like a human being. Like, I'm really sorry that's happening, and hope you were in a better place in the last quarter. Got any shit you can sell to give me my money back?
Well, you can't defame dead people. Just saying.
Trust me, I think about that.
Once they expire,
that actually, I want to write a book so bad. I've written so much about all the shit I've done in LA, but to me it feels so incomplete without
huge.
A childhood story. So that's honestly the only reason I don't have a serious but life story up until now out, I guess.
Wow. I'm kind of
as parents, yeah, me too. Like, we're parents now, and I can't even imagine. Like,
that's what's exciting for me, though. I will say one of the things
so
that
broken.
brings me like peace and happiness is one day I can't wait to be a mother who loves their children so much.
And do it your way.
Absolutely. And you know what I mean? And maybe that was the purpose of all of it. I don't know. I'll never know. So anyways, guys, what's the Franco up to?
That's so sad. It's so sad. And I feel like...
I think it tells, it's very, I mean, this is a huge part of who you are. And
I think that's why it really
is
so crazy.
It explains a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
But how could you not be crazy, like, and do crazy stuff? Yeah. It's like, what the hell?
My first manager, I really accredit to teaching me a lot of so much just social shit I never learned. Like how to, you know what I mean? I accredit so many of my OG scandals to me just being like a lawless fucking fatherless rat. Mm-hmm. You know, like I needed to learn a lot.
Was there one parent that you had a bigger issue with, or were they both kind of equally horrible?
Equally horrible in different ways.
Wow.
I think. You know what I mean?
God damn.
Yeah.
Being sued by your own parent, I feel like it's like a stab in the heart. Like, what the hell?
We weren't in a good place, you know, when it happened, I guess, but I didn't. That's just such a further thing, you know what I mean? But it's so hard. I hate having to talk about it because you know me, that's the only time I can't talk about shit the way I want to is when there's legality, and it drives me. And that's what sucks too, is feeling silenced about it for sure. But like, I don't even know, like. They always, in my opinion, I think that my financial success excited them. There were a lot of instances where I was paying for things, you know what I mean, for them by force. My 18th birthday was the happiest day of my life because I'd been doing this for like 3 years. And they were, I was a minor. They were controlling my finances.
Really?
So, absolutely.
Wow.
They were collected. Like if you got a check from YouTube, they would take it.
Or like not give you. Oh my God, really?
They had access to it.
I mean, you have to be emancipated legally, at least in the state of Nevada.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, you're under 18. Usually parents aren't that horrible to do that.
100%. And oh my God. And I was so bitter for years seeing the people with the like loving momager who like helps. Oh my God. But, in Nevada, you have to be like legally emancipated, and usually an emancipation requires a sign off of the parents, but what parent who wants the benefits of
of
are gonna, and then obviously there's other ways around that, but they were just so difficult.
Had you looked into the legal options of like separating from your parents? It was that bad?
Oh my God. I remember being 14, like knowing what emancipation meant. Wow. You know what I mean? Like I was,
And so I find that interesting. So at what age were you starting to make money based on your career?
Probably 16, 17.
And were you making like a good amount of money back then that was like...
Yeah, I mean, I remember my first AdSense check was like, it was like $5,000.
Wow.
That's life-changing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Especially if you're 16.
And I'd been dropped out of school for a couple years. It didn't seem like anyone cared about my future. Mm-hmm. And I was working a minimum wage job.
What were you doing?
I did retail, a bunch of different retail, like PacSun and different stores like that.
Yeah.
And in my head, it was like, I'm going to have to work my way up here and save money if I ever wanted a future in an education, or I'm going to go be a stripper because I live in Vegas. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, fuck, what do you do?
Were you able to save money?
Yeah.
You were able to keep some of the money for yourself.
Yeah. And I don't think it was, I never noticed, like, I don't even know. I get so scared to say anything. Because God, I would hate to be back in court. But the shit was just getting bought a lot by, you know what I mean? And I'd moved out at one point, like by 16 or 17, I don't know if I can say all of this. I really don't. I don't think it's in my best interest to tell this story legally.
Do people know all this stuff? Is this something you've talked about, like with your background?
This is actually the most in-depth. I've talked about it.
People do, because I feel like it's so important to who you are. That
100%, and that was a real battle with it. Like, and it still is emotionally for me. I would love to be able to just tell my fucking. And I thought I was until I, receive that shit. Like I thought I was able to.
What's the consequence of doing that? I wonder. Like, if you consulted with an attorney, you're like, I just want to say everything. Like, what happens? What's
another lawsuit?
Another lawsuit.
If that's their journey. You know
how can they win that lawsuit though? Or you don't even want to go through that. You don't want to go through
I don't want to go through it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I get it.
It's a lot of money and like it's
time, emotional. Yeah.
It's just terrible.
I remember thinking at one point, you know, like the lawyer, again, their lawyer was so hungry because it was based on that. And the things the lawyer would just come and say, like, are you sure you want to be in court? Because we're going to pitch it like this, and this.
We're going to drag it out.
You're a drugged out Hollywood, awful piece of shit who doesn't love their family. And you have two sweet, two sweet elderly parents who just loved you so much and were the best. Like it scares you.
Yeah, it's so bullshit. That's not how the world works.
Is a court going to side with
0% chance, but it's the emotional battle.
Yeah, but I mean, for a while, I think in that time, I really believed like, what if people didn't believe me? You know, which is like scary, I guess.
Yeah.
That's really one of the most fucked up things I've heard.
Yeah.
Empathy H3 unlocked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I promise you, I'm fine. You don't have to 5150 me at Coachella.
No, I think actually considering all of that, I'm really impressed that you've managed all this and like going through
I thought you were
lawsuits.
just a mess because I just thought you were a mess. But now I see that there's a whole explanation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that makes me appreciate
trying
you.
to clean up the mess all these years, but we'll get there. I guess I'm not like, you know how I am. I don't fucking care if people like me or don't. One day I'll be able to tell my whole life story and maybe I'll win some people back. But
I can't wait to read it.
Thank you.
It's going to be, you know, there's like a special poison in that where it's like they put you through this and then they don't even let you have the story.
That's what sucks. That's what sucks. Well, I think some people are often narcissistic with abuse and they don't even want to believe that they don't believe that they are that.
Denial.
And that's all I ever wanted my whole life, you know, just like, hey, I'm sorry. But that's never, you know.
Yeah,
some people can't come to terms with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the fantasy that one day they just apologize and like
now,
they're like, we were right, you were right, and we were wrong?
Now because I've healed from that regard. I guess I'm not looking for it. It wouldn't. Like now, I just like cool, you know. Like when I was younger, absolutely. And you always wish it was different, but I'm also not upset with the hand that I've been dealt. And in the end, I was just home, and my man and I went and visited my family, and they're just so sweet, and it was like so, like my best friend's family. It was awesome. Like you know, it's normal to me now, and I love it, and I love them. So
thank God for that, eh?
Yeah,
we're good people out there. All right, I'm gonna thank a sponsor. We just have one sponsor, and then I want to get right back to where we left off. It's really fast. It's gamer. So you want to go to the bathroom or something while we do this? Yeah, I'm just saying if you want to.
Oh no, I'm chilling.
Cool. Gamers Suck. Brought to you by Child Abuse. Perfect segue. Every time. Going back to you growing up in Vegas. When did you drop out of school?
When I was 15.
High school?
Middle of sophomore year.
Was something happen or what? Like, how do you actually leave high school? I thought there was like that was illegal or something.
Well, it is, but I just feel like Vegas doesn't give a shit.
They don't give a fuck.
If you look at if you rank the school system, the school systems are ranked from like best to worst, all 50. Vegas is 50th, or it was for a long time. I don't know if it still is.
I remember seeing that.
49th, or Nevada is. But I mean, they don't give a shit. But I mean, I think it was leading up to it. Like I just, for years of my life, I've always had really bad insomnia. There was a lot of fighting in my household. I would never sleep at night. Like I was like scared to fall asleep. I had really bad insomnia. So I'd be sleeping through class all day, like every day and shit.
Wow.
Like, cause I wasn't getting any sleep. I remember so many times where teachers would send me for like a wellness check at my school. Cause it's like, why is she like in REM sleep? Like it's one thing if they touch you and you get up, like I wouldn't get up, like type of thing.
Wow.
I hated the rules. I hated authority. I didn't want to learn. I hated life. So I was like, why the fuck? What am I doing this for? A future? I'm going to fucking kill myself. What? Like, there's no purpose. And yeah, I mean, and then it would just, I remember one of the last times my parents took me to school. Oh my God, here I go again. Though, am I gonna get fucking sued?
It's so fucked up. It's like, this happened to you.
I know, it's insane.
Just maybe if you say,
I had a dream.
This is the way that I remembered it.
Yeah.
It could have happened differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the car and shit got so bad that I remember in my opinion. Yeah. I remember in my opinion, I was so angry that I got out and I was walking to school and it was freezing outside. And we're far as shit from my school and it was like 30 fucking degrees out. And I'm walking to school in like flip flops and like a t-shirt and I'm freezing. And then they're screaming from the car to not the car, whenever people call the police, like police show up, whole thing. And I'm just like walking to school. And I remember being like, I don't want to go back. Like, it just like, this is too much. I don't want to go back. And so I just stopped going. I never like filed a paper.
Crazy.
I never anything.
You just one day stopped going?
Yeah.
Nobody reached out to you? Nobody asked any questions?
No.
What?
I literally just one day stopped. I mean, and I had hundreds of absences as is. I think that it's sad,
They didn't see
really.
if you died? Nobody was like, is she alive?
No, I mean, I was funny about it though. I was funny about it. I'd be like picking my friends up from school.
Okay,
I went to all the like senior assemblies and shit. I would sneak into the school and just like do the fun shit with my friends and be like, oh, I'm a senior. Not at all. And I started just working as much as I possibly could so I could at least have money to put myself in a better situation. Because that's how it was for me from an early age. It was like, you have to get yourself out of this or you're going to be
survival.
Yeah.
Didn't they ever send like social services around to your house or anything like that?
No.
Never. Nobody ever checked on you.
At one point it's truancy when you don't show up, and I think they sent a truancy officer like one fucking time, and then they just like rang the doorbell, no one answered, and they left. Like, again,
that's incredible.
it's Vegas.
That's actually like
Is it kind of like a Vegas thing? Like,
I don't know.
I think,
but I'm assuming that's not happening in like the Hamptons. I'm assuming that's not happening in like,
I think they're probably underfunded. There's a lot of kids who are probably
100%
not the best upbringing.
Absolutely.
They just don't have the resources.
And that's the thing too. Like, I feel like high school and all that type of stuff in a lot of other towns are very community based in the regard that like all the parents are friends and check on each other and all live in similar neighborhoods. And do you know what I mean? Like, Vegas just isn't fucking, it's not like that at all, I guess.
Oh, you probably don't know about this, but if you're trying to avoid getting sued, you just say in Minecraft. So you say, my parents picked me up in Minecraft.
No way. In that case, in Minecraft. No way.
It's a gag. It's like an online gag. You say in Minecraft.
Oh my God.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Or you could say in Roblox if that's your cup of tea.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy too is like, I'm really not that terrified of being sued. Like, that's one of many, many, many lawsuits I've gone through. But
how many lawsuits? We might be kindred in that regard.
I think Ethan is thinking, did we just become best friends?
Right.
Because I'm on like my 5th right now.
Really?
For defamation.
I remember those days. No, I'm just kidding.
Still haven't won.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've won the majority of my lawsuits. I did lose one this past year. But normally I'm like, fuck it, I'll say it, sue me, because it's when a business is suing you, or like you know what I mean, or it doesn't matter. It's not like your whole life's
just
trauma
money,
and like airing it out. So it's like, that's the only one where I really like
I get
tread lightly, I guess.
So you dropped out of school. You immediately just went, because can you even work underage? Like, was it hard to find a job at 16?
15. 14, you can do shit that's like, you know what I mean? Like, you could go mow someone like lawns, or you could go work for a company that's not like tax.
Right, like
happy.
They pay you cash or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then 15 is, I think, when it's legal, or at least it was then. And I just immediately.
So you went and people hired you.
Oh
15.
my, absolutely. I was preparing for it, like at 14. Like, I was like, on my 15th birthday, I think literally maybe a day after my 15th birthday, I was like,
was that transition from being a student to like a full-time worker at 15? What was that? What did it feel? Was it relief? Was it good? Was
I loved
it hard?
it. Yeah, I loved it, because I guess for me, and it's sad, but school felt like something I was doing for no reason.
Yeah.
Because it was like, even if I graduated with I'm not being sent to college. I'm not a straight A student who's getting sent anywhere. And maybe I could have been if I applied myself, but I didn't feel that way. Like I had no motivation. I was so depressed. And that was a very instant gratification. I'm getting paid. I'm making money. I'm changing my life. And you know what I mean? I liked my coworkers. I liked working. I liked applying myself to shit. I also always worked in retail, and I love clothes, and I love people. I'm a people person as well. So I enjoyed like making my tips and doing shit like that off of human interaction. I loved it. Yeah.
And so when you turned 18, you moved to California, right?
I like don't remember my life. That's another thing that's kind of dark with the trauma is everything felt a lot like it was like my fault. You know what I mean? And it like, obviously you grow up now and you realize none of it was your fault. But at the time it was like, well, you know what I mean? It felt like I was choosing to leave and I was, you know.
Yeah. As you've grown up and been through therapy and stuff, you notice kind of how this really messed up, unorthodox relationship with your parents like manifests in your own experiences of dealing with people?
Absolutely. I think for so long, even just in my relationships, I definitely associated, and not knowingly, do you know what I mean? But you associate turbulence and chaos and toxicity with love. You learn.
Little Zan is now we make
like
sense.
all my toxic relationships, absolutely. Just you know what I mean.
That's interesting.
You think love has to be earned. You think that you know what I mean. There's no pull without push. There's no good without bad, and you have to severely re-hardwire your brain. And I still struggle with that. Like when something's just so healthy, my innate reaction is like, I'm bored. But it's like, you're not bored. You just don't think this is love. Or you just weren't conditioned to think this is love. And you have to really hardwire your brain in a different way. 100%.
So is that
and that's common with a lot of people. You know what I mean? Just you grow up in a toxic, turbulent, abusive, volatile household, and you're learning at such a young age, like, this is what love is. You know what I mean?
So when you say like I'm kind of over that era, is that kind of what you mean? Where like you've kind of been able to associate what love means to you in a healthier way?
Yeah, and I'm able to, you know, maybe innately I'll always want to go for that, but at least now I'm able to, I think, just sit there and be like, okay, this isn't right. I can't do this. This isn't healthy. This isn't, you know what I mean? Instead of just being like, this is love. This is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still love a little toxicity for fun. That'll always be.
Yeah, it's I feel that. The bad boy.
That was the hand I was dealt, I guess.
Am I a bad boy, Hila? Do you think I'm a bad boy? I'm from Ventura.
Yeah.
So I've been in California my whole life.
I'm from Israel.
She's
I grew up in Israel my whole life.
How did you guys meet?
We met when he came to Israel to visit on a birthright trip.
Everybody loves this story.
And it's like a trip for Jewish people.
Yes.
You know what birthright is?
Yes.
So
Okay.
when you go on a group,
So when you go in a group, there's a few soldiers too.
Yes.
So I was a soldier.
she
And
likes my bad boy vibe.
You're so fucking cool.
I'm so cool. I pulled her.
Me going on H3 is just a scheme to become her best friend. She's so fucking cool.
Oh, stop it.
Like you were a what? You were a what? Like tell me more about this soldier lifestyle very quickly, please.
Well,
She had a gun.
So
Did you have a gun?
Did I? I
Like
don't
a
remember.
fat fucking like
What was
AR.
your soldier duty?
I don't remember.
Not that
so
I can
in
imagine
Israel,
you're strong, but I'm looking at you right now with your
it's not like
Prada
that.
on, and I'm like, huh?
It's not like that. So in Israel, when you're 18, after you finish school, you have to do the army.
Yeah.
And
Everyone does.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Hey.
And for women, it's 2 years, and for men, it's 3 years, generally.
Yeah.
And then there's all kinds of jobs that you might end up get. So mostly the guys go to like combat stuff. So it's more like physical and actual doing things. Now they did start giving women the option to do that. So that's kind of like a later thing.
Would you do that if you had the option?
I never wanted to.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to do the army. But in Israel, it's kind of like a big deal if you don't do it.
Yeah.
And I was debating not doing it, and it's like a whole thing. If you want to try to avoid it, you have to like really lie through your teeth.
You gotta like shit your pants and stuff.
And they would
Try to
come
act-
to your home and check on you. And my
Literally.
parents would not allow me to do that.
Yeah.
By the way.
Didn't you know someone that shit their pants when an army person came over to check on them to look crazy?
shit their
I
pants.
swear you told me that
I don't
story.
remember.
Like you have to go all out.
Yeah. But so anyway,
a lot of people around me also, like my friends' parents, pull me aside and they're like, listen, you have to do it. You'll never get a job.
Oh, really?
In interviews, everybody will ask you, you can't do that. So I did go, and then they asked me like what kind of job would I want, like because there's different options, and I was like, I just want something like that where I can go back home every day. So like just leave me close, like in Tel Aviv. That was like the only thing I asked and I actually got that, and it was like the worst thing ever. It was like I just felt like I was wasting my life. I was just sitting in an office,
so crazy,
doing stupid, like really stupid menial computer work.
Yeah.
And spending like an hour on the bus going there, an hour on the bus coming back home, going back home to my parents' house. And basically you also make no money. Like I made like $100 the whole month.
Oh my God.
So I would have to also work on the weekend to try to make money for myself to like
that's
buy whatever.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So
I hated that, and then I asked for like a change, which is you can put in a request. It's like a whole process. I did that, and you don't know what you're gonna get, so it's a little bit of a gamble. And then I got to go to this place where it's like they actually send you away from home, and you spend the whole week there, and sometimes the weekend too, and then you go back home like for a weekend, and then go again to the.
Oh my God.
So it's like it's a lot more like army like.
That explains so much about you, why you have so much like value for the life that you live now. You know, like
I do.
Like, that's awesome how much you appreciate it, but it's cool to know that's where it comes from.
So I didn't think I wanted that, but when I got there, it was actually a really good experience for me because it was like being away from home, and I didn't like being home too. At the time, my dad was like really difficult, and so it was kind of like an opportunity for me to go away from home and try something new and bond with people.
And you guys met
and then when I was at that base doing that, they were like, there's this thing, if you want to apply for it, where you basically go on a week off and you just travel. Yeah. It's just like, it's kind of like a bonus in a way.
Do a lot of soldiers? I would imagine a lot of them sign up for it.
I didn't even know about it, so I don't know how many people know about it or how many people they let.
How did you find out about it then?
Somebody, so where I was in the base, there's like...
I think it's the apocalypse outside.
That's coming from outside.
Yeah,
it's not like a weird AC unit with a kill button that you pay for, right? Okay, that's crazy.
So there's like a person, like a captain or whatever it is that manages that whole department where I was, and I was his secretary. So that was my job there. So it's sort of like a good role in a way, and I don't know if that's why I got that opportunity. I don't really know.
Probably.
And you were there on birthright.
So I got to go on this trip, and he was one of the Americans.
We met at the Holocaust Museum.
No, you fucking...
I think that's the first time we spoke to each other.
This is my kind of love story. Let me tell you something, okay? No fucking way. And so, was it immediate? Like, did you guys fuck that night?
No.
We did not.
No.
We were both smoking, and I think we both took like smoke breaks together a lot. So we kind of like...
smoking so much then.
Yeah,
how long was
a lot of cigarettes.
This period of time?
It was a week.
Okay, and then you went home, and you guys kept in contact?
And then I downloaded Facebook. I didn't know what that was. And Skype, and we started talking.
You weren't doing any of this yet? You were a normie?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Like this.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah,
No.
way before. Way before.
Way before.
Yeah, I was a
your
normie.
entire journey on the internet has been
together.
We made our YouTube channel together when I was living in Israel.
Fucking, I'm going to kill myself.
Because
I'm going to die the fuck alone. That's so fucking annoying. Oh my, one relationship across your whole fucking career. Oh my God.
it is pretty crazy.
I'll end it all.
Because it is
insane.
I moved to Israel eventually because that was the only way we could be together.
Yeah, I came here first, and I had like only 6 months to be here, and then I got kicked out basically.
You went to
Israel. He came
moved
to Israel with me.
How long did you live in Israel for? 5 years?
5 years.
With her?
Yeah.
And then like it must have been year 2 or 3 we made the YouTube.
Yeah, I was going to art school. I tried to get into fashion. They didn't take me in.
Yeah.
Then the next year I tried again.
Oh, I love your life.
Art.
I love everywhere you're at for you right now. That's fucking awesome.
So, and in that art school, I had to take a mandatory video class. And I was too shy to be in the videos, so I would record him.
Yeah.
and show it in class, which was so stupid.
They were weird.
I would love to see that. He just has a puppet.
No, they're super weird videos.
And then we ended up putting those videos up on YouTube, and that became like our beginning.
And people, like, one of them gained some traction.
Well, I was doing
Very
like
slow.
I was doing
It was
really
very
stupid,
slow.
like dumb, not funny, poorly shot sketches. Those really didn't get any traction. I started doing these video edits. That was the first time people started to follow me. I would make these like, I don't know, let's see, like that's a 10. This video was like actually viral. I edited this. And this was like my first big break. So funny.
Aerate it, warm it up, driving up, that top note, that cream, pure vanilla, sweeteners.
And so, how did you transition from, so did you continue to gain traction by doing edit-based videos, and then you transitioned into slowly kind of putting yourself in them, and then became a personality? Were you always reporting or discussing internet
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of,
camaraderie?
So this gave me a little traction. What really kind of blew me up, so to speak, is I started making reaction videos specifically to like pranks, YouTube pranksters, because like nobody was calling them out at the time.
They revolutionized the genre because they were the first commentary channel to really do like sketches and actually like write out like good jokes and stuff. And
That's lit.
Yeah,
I can't say that about myself. Thank you, AB.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
I don't want to sound arrogant.
I love
but
knowing people's like, origin, especially people who can continue to reinvent and stay on the space for so long.
Thank
it's
you,
so
Queen.
interesting.
You
to
too,
me.
Queen.
And you
Look
too.
at you guys go, though.
And now you're on.
I love your life story. That's fucking
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Yeah.
For sure.
All right, we do have to go. I could talk for another hour.
You guys are amazing.
But it was so much fun, Tana.
Thank you for
for
having me.
coming. So much fun.
Best audience. I love you, H3, and I love
The
getting to
audience
know you
loves
guys.
you, by the way. The
Me
audience
too.
loves
I
you.
really
Thank you
didn't
for
even feel like that
sharing
was
your
podcast.
story.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing really
I'll share anything with you guys.
intimate stuff. And
I
I'm
actually forgot we were podcasting a couple times. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation.
And I don't mean to sound callous, but I cannot wait for your parents to die.
You're right there with all of us, I think. I don't, maybe not all of us, but you know, I don't feel deathy about like, I can't wait for anyone to die, but like,
It's
you
Well,
know,
I just want to hear
you want
just
to
the
tell
story.
them. I'll
Yeah.
sit down with you, alive or not, and tell you
That's
everything
awesome.
you want to know.
Thank you so much. So,
Yes.
so we've got the OnlyFans, we've got the
Yes.
podcast coming, Canceled is coming
podcast.
back. We got the Jeff podcast,
Yes.
Friends with Benefits.
Those are what I want everyone to focus
All
on right
happening
now. Yeah, please
for
watch
Tana.
our shows and keep the lights on. Canceled and Friends with Benefits are coming back within the next month. Thank you.
Yay!
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you, Tana.
Bye.
Thanks for
Have a
watching,
good
everybody. Have a great
weekend.
weekend. We'll see you on
Stealing the
Monday.
dog, and I'm taking the dog.
See you on Monday, everybody. Ta ta.